Limiting ultra-processed foods is one of the most fundamental and impactful steps you can take to reduce visceral fat and restore overall metabolic health. Ultra-processed foods, which include items like sugary cereals, packaged snacks, instant noodles, sweetened beverages, frozen meals, and fast food, are engineered for taste, convenience, and shelf life rather than nutrition. They are typically high in added sugars, refined flours, industrial seed oils, sodium, artificial additives, and trans fats, while being stripped of fiber, essential nutrients, and natural satiety signals. This combination doesn't just encourage overeating, it actively promotes fat accumulation deep within the abdomen and sets off a cascade of hormonal and inflammatory reactions that make visceral fat more likely and more difficult to lose. When we consume ultra-processed foods, we're often consuming what scientists now call obesogenic foods, items that drive weight gain through multiple, overlapping pathways. These foods typically have a high glycemic index, which causes rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin. Chronically elevated insulin levels, even in people who are not diabetic, push the body into a storage mode, favoring fat accumulation, especially in the visceral compartment where fat cells are more metabolically active and more sensitive to insulin signaling. Moreover, these foods often contain hidden sources of trans fats or hydrogenated oils, which are potent disruptors of lipid metabolism and promote inflammation, a key mechanism that links visceral fat to chronic diseases like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Studies show that people who eat more ultra-processed foods have significantly larger waistlines and more internal fat, even when their overall weight or body mass index, BMI, appears normal. In other words, a person can look thin but still carry dangerous levels of visceral fat if their diet is dominated by processed, low-nutrient foods. Another danger is that ultra-processed foods are often hyperpalatable and engineered to override your natural fullness cues. This can lead to passive overeating, where you consume far more calories than you realize, not because you're hungry, but because your brain's reward system is being hijacked by a flood of salt, fat, and sugar. The lack of fiber and protein also means these foods do not trigger the satiety hormones like GLP-1 and PYY that naturally help you stop eating. This makes it incredibly easy to consume excess calories, which quickly convert to abdominal fat when the body can't use them efficiently. But the harm goes deeper than just excess energy intake. Ultra-processed foods disrupt the gut microbiome, degrade insulin sensitivity, and increase systemic inflammation, all of which encourage the storage of fat around the liver, pancreas, and intestines. Emerging research shows that high intake of these foods is linked not only to increased fat mass, but also to greater fat deposition in the organs themselves, including fatty liver disease, which often coexists with high visceral fat. Limiting or eliminating ultra-processed foods does not mean giving up convenience or taste. It means becoming more selective and intentional about what goes into your body. Swapping out prepackaged snacks for nuts or fresh fruit, trading sweetened yogurt for plain Greek yogurt with berries, and cooking simple meals from whole ingredients like vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and lean proteins can make an enormous difference over time. The fiber, polyphenol, and micronutrients in these foods support better digestion, appetite regulation, and fat oxidation, and they don't come with the metabolic penalties of industrial additives or refined carbs. Crucially, cutting back on ultra-processed foods also helps restore your body's hormonal rhythm, making it easier to lose fat and keep it off. Your hunger and fullness signals begin to normalize. Your insulin and cortisol levels become more stable. Inflammation drops. The body becomes more metabolically flexible, better able to shift from storing fat to burning it, especially the dangerous, visceral kind. The benefits aren't just long-term. Many people notice visible changes in their waistline and energy levels within just a few weeks of cleaning up their diet. Studies show that people placed on minimally processed diets eat fewer calories without trying, report better mood and focus, and lose more abdominal fat, even when calories aren't explicitly restricted. That's because the body naturally self-regulates better when it's no longer overwhelmed by chemical additives, artificial flavors, and metabolic disruptors. In summary, ultra-processed foods are one of the most consistent and well-documented drivers of visceral fat gain. Their impact on metabolism, hunger regulation, inflammation, and fat distribution is profound and dangerous when left unchecked. By reducing or eliminating these foods and replacing them with whole, nutrient-dense options, you not only improve your ability to burn fat, but also reduce your risk of chronic disease and take an essential step toward long-term, sustainable health.